What's up, heroes? Stan here from HeroAcademyFitness.com. Today we're going to talk about the front squat. Now, the front squat is similar to its cousin, the back squat, in the sense that it's a leg exercise. That's not really a leg exercise, it's a whole body exercise. Generally speaking, from a biomechanical perspective, the back squat is a much stronger lift, meaning you can move more weight with it. And the front squat is not considered one of the three core powerlifting movements. It's also not really considered a standalone exercise in Olympic weightlifting either, although it factors in much more there because you use it in stuff like your cleans and jerks, etc., etc. But it's still a fantastic motion to learn. It features heavily in a lot of our programs on the website, including the Invincible one, the Protege, and I really like it a lot for building more upright posture in the squat, and also as more of a quad-focused variant of the squat. Very frequently, as I'm writing up programs, I'll prescribe a heel elevated front squat, which is just a front squat, where you got your heels up on a weight plate or a 2x4 or something like that. So for the front squat, there's a couple of different ways to do it as far as grips go, and I'm going to show you all three to start out. So first off, there is the standard front squat, and if you are an Olympic lifter, or know an Olympic lifter, or have seen Olympic lifters, this is probably the one you're familiar with, and that's the one where you got your hands on the bar and you drive your elbows up and you lift off. And very often this is the catch position after something like a clean up off the ground. And this is kind of the most common variant you'll see, but it's also one of the more difficult because it requires a lot of wrist mobility, a lot of wrist flexibility in order to get to this position without being in pain. And I don't have great wrist mobility, so realistically, you want to drive your elbows up as high as you can, but you gotta kind of get limited by how high you can stretch your wrists. So this is the one we're gonna show in the video here for the most part. We're gonna talk about the other two grip options. What I want you to notice is that the bar is not resting on my look, all right? Bar's not on the neck. Bar's not even like on the collarbone. Very important that it's not on your collarbone because your collarbone is actually a pretty weak bone. Your collarbone is the little ring bone that runs across the top of your rib cage. Instead, it's resting on my front deltoids, my front shoulder muscles, okay? And my shoulder muscles are kind of pressing back against my hands, and my hands are pressing back against my shoulder muscles, and that's kind of wedging the bar in place here, all right? Other grips that you can do, however, you can do a cross arm grip, which is where you come up and you get your deltoids up against the bar here, and then you cross your arms over like this, and you hold the bar in place with your hands like that. All right, and you can step back. I don't like this version much. Some people do. It's not a favorite of mine. My favorite is actually a strap-assisted grip, okay? So if you have any sort of weightlifting straps, like the kind that go around your wrists, you can actually use these to also hold the barbell for a front squat. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and wrap them around the bar like that. And once you've got them nice and secured, what you do is you put them right where you normally would for a front squat. All right, you put your deltoids up against right where the straps are. You lift up and you step back. Now this again is my favorite way to do it, but it's not the way we're going to be demoing it today because it's not technically the textbook version of the front squat. All right, just be aware this version exists. If you have weightlifting straps, try this. If you don't have the mobility for holding onto the bar with your hands while you're squatting, lifting straps are dirt cheap on Amazon. You don't need some heavy duty ones. You're not moving heavy duty weight, and they're not even being used to hold the weight so much. It is just kind of stabilizing. So grab yourself a cheap pair if you're having a hard time with the wrist mobility portion of the front squat, and give that a shot. But I digress. Front squat. Principles are similar to the back squat. If you're doing a front squat, you should also be doing back squats anyway. Go ahead and check out the back squat video after this for some tips and tricks as far as overall technique for squats. We're not going to highlight as heavily on the overall technique because there's a lot of carryover, things that are similar to this and the back squat. 1, you want to keep good posture. 2, you need to breathe and brace. 3, you want to initiate the motion with your hips first and your knees second, and keep your knees over your toes. The main difference between the front squat and the back squat is posture. Front squat tends to be a more upright lift. All right, as I come in here, I got my fingers under the bar just past shoulder width so I can fit my shoulders under it. I get my deltoids up against the bar, I lift the bar up, I step back. I make sure my feet are at whatever my comfortable width is. You will learn what your width is depending on what your flexibility and mobility allows. All right? I'm up, proud chest, head up. I keep my head up in neutral the whole time. If you tip your head forward, your chest tips forward, it all goes bad. It's a bad time. Don't do that. All right? Up, elbows up, head up, chest up. All right? I take a deep breath, go down, and back up. Down, and back up. And as I'm driving up, especially with heavier weights, I want to think about drive up with the elbows. I want my elbows driving the motion. So I'm down, and back up. If you're familiar with the back squat, you'll be familiar with the front squat. There is not that huge difference. You'll be surprised if you've never done front squats before, but you have done back squats, how much less weight you can move with a front squat. But while it is a humbling experience at first, you definitely get better as it goes. All right. Most of the things you want to worry about with the front squat are the same things you want to worry about with the back squat. Again, proper posture, breathing and bracing, driving through your whole foot, and the only thing that's different is just the thought of what you're doing with your upper body. With the back squat, you're typically thinking about drive up with your shoulders. With the front squat, it's more drive up through your elbows. So, if you're just learning this motion, please make sure you video yourself. Go ahead and post up videos for us to check out in either the Facebook group or the Discord group. We'll go ahead and throw the links for those in the description below. And don't be self-conscious. We've all been beginners. We would much rather you post up some videos for us to critique your form and help you get better. That way you can lift safely and become the strongest version of yourself. So that's it for the front squat. If you have any questions, throw them down in the comments below, or again, visit us in the Discord or in the Facebook group. Thank you for watching. As always, remember, live boldly, change the world, and continue to be awesome. Bye-bye.